Hello there, my friends. I thought I'd stop here for you. Stop at the start of the video and show you that we're in 𝐲𝐬𝐿𝐷 Woods here. I'm about to walk down the hill. I've just recorded my Instagram video, and it's all about actually a phrase that I really eschew, that I do not endorse. It's often misused, and I'll tell you what the phrase is. It's of course. Many years ago, there was a really good film, actually, a Hollywood film with Kate Hudson and Naomi Watts and lots of other people, and it was called Le Divorce. And the two actresses I've just named, they play sisters who are American, but one of the sisters marries a Frenchman and lives in Paris. And she remarks of the French in-laws that her in-laws will say, mais bien sûr, but of course. I'll never say, but of course. Because truthfully, I find it a really, really patronising phrase. And this video is actually about a teeny little interaction that, yes, I will admit, there's probably a little bit of overblowing over. It's a bit overblown, a little bit of exaggeration over, and sort of making a bit of a mountain out of a molehill. But I was asking somebody who's travelling somewhere, and I was asking him how he was going to get from where he and I both live over to where he was going. And it was a little bit of a laborious conversation because I asked him the same question 3 times. Very simple question. I was failing to get the information. Simple questions with simple answers. No bullshit, basically. And just see how they go down. Beautiful deep woods. I'm kind of about halfway down now. Oh, we've got some dog walkers. Here we go. But yeah, we're having this little conversation, and it felt like it was taking a very, very long time. Hello there. Hi. Hello. And I just said, from where? Because I was trying to find out where he was getting a train from. And I said, from where? And then he said, oh, from Chesterfield, of course. And I thought, well, it's not of course, because if it was of course and it was obvious, 'cause that's what of course means, something's really obvious, duh. If it were obvious, would I be asking the question? And obviously the answer would be no. I'm asking you the question because I don't know the answer. And I just thought we probably all experience this with certain people. I certainly know that I have. with wanting just a really, really simple conversation, but just not being able to get it. Because for whatever reason, maybe I'm oversensitive, maybe I'm over-rationalising, maybe I'm over-analysing. You know, we are at times fallen people, and we fall down to our base instincts and our programming. It surfaces every now and then. I certainly do. I have very emotional reactions to things. But I thought, want the best for people. Something I've thought about off and on over the years is wish people well. Wish the best for them. If they appear or are in delusion, don't resent them, don't hate them. Sympathise, understand they must be struggling, and whatever you call it, pray for them, wish them well. That's good. And that's what I want in my relationships. I find that phrases like, of course, and say, oh yes, isn't that obvious? And say, well, no, it's not obvious. Because an answer is only obvious if you know it, which itself sounds like a really obvious thing to say. But it's not. We all have our backgrounds, we all have our conditioning, we all have our bullshit that we're dealing with. But in a world where, let's face it, we understand that people are fighting their own personal battles, like me with my bag getting caught on that mule post there, won't be stopped, that it would be a greater world if we were actually all able to support each other and help each other rather than be adversaries. And the thing is, when I was having this conversation this morning, there's weird things happening at the moment. I don't quite know why. Maybe I'm reverting back to my ideal wake-up time. But no matter what time I'm going to bed, early or late, I seem to be waking up at sort of 5 or 6 o'clock. And admittedly, I sleep with my blind open on my window because I have a beautiful view out of the window of the mature trees and the communal lawn at my complex. And maybe the natural sunlight is waking me up. It's a very sudden kind of bolt to awareness. But this conversation happened fairly early on after I went out to water this man's plants. And as I say, I am not actually criticising him exactly, but it did make me think language is important because, of course, it does dictate how you're interacting with people, the language you use, and of course the way that you speak it, and also the spirit in which you deliver it. And I've experienced enough bullshit in my life from a lot of incredibly dysfunctional people to know for myself that I want my interactions to be really high quality, good-natured, high-spirited and reciprocal. You know, don't want to fight anymore, don't want to, because I have fought and I have made drama, but the truth is that I've had enough of that, and I'm slowly and steadily training myself to actually move through the world more peacefully. Hello there, hi. So, always be thinking about that. How are you interacting with people? How are you allowing other people to interact with you? And make it obvious to people what is acceptable, what isn't acceptable. And you don't have to do it in an angry or a belligerent way, but let them know who you are. Be honest, be direct. And a lot of people will say, oh gosh, that's brutal, oh gosh, that's harsh. But it's not. It's people aren't used to directness anymore. People want a bit of a cocoon around themselves. They want security and safety. But I don't. I want men with balls, confidence, power, assertiveness, courage and bravery and good principle. The virtuous life. That's what I want and what I'm striving for. And it's not always an easy task, but my goodness, gents, it's certainly worth it.